I reach up high like there's something there, but I'm just searching for the unknown.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Big Bang Theory After Show here at the Stream.tv. We were going live, and I was actually sitting there writing on the live chat. So thank you guys for joining us. Shamey, 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 Shamey. Yes, we're excited. They're back together. We're gonna get to all that in just a second. I'm Adam Kruger, and with me tonight we have Lexi Saccone.
Hello.
And she's back. She was away.
And I was away.
And Tia Robinson again, one more time. We're all here. We're excited. Be sure to join in the conversation. You guys can tweet at us using the hashtag BigBangAS, and you can also hit us on the live chat on YouTube, which we're going to be featuring in just a little bit. So let's first talk about "Can't Get You Out of My Head." I feel like that's like a Kylie Minogue song that I'm referencing here. But you know, Sheldon gets his earworm, and he's descending into madness.
Yes.
Do you guys honestly buy that Sheldon would be going crazy?
Yes, I would think that I would buy that he would think that he's going insane, descending into madness. I could see that. Sheldon going a little too over the top with it. Yeah.
Well,
no, I was just going to say, it really does drive me crazy when I have something stuck in my head. You
Too.
actually feel like you're losing your mind, and that's all you think about.
And for Sheldon, it actually threw off his urination schedule.
Yeah.
He's up in the middle of the night doing his iPhone diary and basically upset that he's not peeing at 7 a.m. instead of, or he's peeing at 2 in the morning instead of 7 in the morning, which was a fun little factoid. So now everybody knows that Sheldon urinates at 7 a.m. But now,
7:30.
well, he'll go back to that. He'll go back to that now that they've remedied the situation. So what do we think about Amy deciding to date Dave again?
I loved having Stephen Merchant back. I thought it was so great to see him again in this episode. He's so hilarious. He's so funny. And, she's taking a chance. She got, her heart ripped out again by Sheldon and just decided, well, Dave likes me, so I'm going to call him and try it again. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, I liked him on the episode because I do love him, but I thought it was more of just like one of those desperate moves where you're kind of like just down in the dumps and he likes me, let me go out with him,
Yeah.
I don't feel like she really she was forcing herself, obviously, to like try to get out there again, and he was, easy to call.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know, I mean, I liked him on the show, I just a little desperate.
Yeah, we have a little image of them
okay.
on their date, which obviously, I mean, we're gonna get to all that stuff in a little while. But we have, on one hand, we have Sheldon who's doing his video diary as he's descending into madness, and then he shows Penny that, which I know, Stephen, you have a picture of that one, right? With them on the couch, the two of them. We can show you guys. It's Sheldon talking to Penny with her phone.
Oh, okay.
With his phone. Yeah, right there, that
yeah.
one. And so he kind of like lets her in on it, and then the look on her face when he puts the camera on her.
Oh, it's so funny. He's like, you can trust her, she's your friend. And she's like,
if she gives you something, you can eat it.
She's eating it. She's eating, of course, and has that little scowl on her face.
So you have that on the one hand, where Sheldon's kind of descending into madness over the breakup now, and he doesn't know why. He just has a song in his head. He doesn't know why he's descending. And then on the opposite side, you've got Amy, who's now talking to Bernadette about this date with Dave, right?
one of my favorite lines.
Can you please
tell
us?
When Bernadette says, about in reference to dating Dave again because he's so big. She goes, "You've never been with a man. Do you really want to start with one that's 6'7"? It's like taking your driving test in a truck."
Bus.
Didn't
A
you
bus.
say bus?
Oh, a bus.
Yeah.
Same difference. Yeah.
But even more.
It's a fair point. A fair point.
There were a lot of laugh out loud moments.
No, there were.
in this episode. I loved it.
I felt like it was a little return to like the earlier Big Bang Theory days, where there's just a lot of fun and there was a lot going on, and we've got Bernadette and Amy in the beginning, and then Leonard and Penny and Sheldon, and then Howard and Raj, and it was just kind of like all this fun stuff going on, and like you said, a lot of laugh out loud moments.
Yeah, absolutely.
They were brilliant, and then we obviously had the fallout with Leonard and Penny. What did you guys think at home? Did you guys think that it was real? Well, I mean, obviously with the taking away of the instrument in the middle of the night, Sheldon's obviously pulling his stuff. Did you guys think that this was something that that they should have let him kind of toy with, or are you happy that that Penny went and substituted what he was the keyboard for the for the tuba?
No, I mean, I would have done the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
you hear that all day long. And honestly, when you do have something stuck in your head, it comes to you when you're, like, which ended up happening, when you least expect it to. So I don't even think him going over and over the song was going to have it come anyway, and she just, couldn't
Yeah,
take it.
I mean, Penny and Leonard are the parents, and they have a child, and it's Sheldon. So at 2 in the morning, you can't be on your keyboard, and you can't be on your tuba.
But how come they let him have the tuba? That's what I want to know. Why did
That's
Sheldon
why
not end up
Leonard's-
with his head stuffed inside the tuba? I would have wanted to see
yeah.
that. That would have been an interesting way to take it. So he has a tuba. All right. Well, let's talk about so all this is going on, and then we end up with Howard and Raj. They have a fan.
So
for
funny.
Footprints on the Moon, they have a fan, and then there they are stalking their only fan. And so, can we just talk about? I want to. It's so easy to actually stalk people these days, and so like when they talked about how they stalked him, I believed it completely implicitly, and but that's kind of scary. No, do you guys think that's scary? That
It's just like, it's so common nowadays. There's so many memes on the internet, like joking about girls stalking their exes and stuff. And what did he say? He went to this, and then he found his Twitter handle, and then he found his this. Everyone's just so out there. You can find
So
anything out of it. You
crazy.
can find where they are at any moment with like those apps. It's crazy.
That's why I don't like. If I'm going to a location, I don't actually
Yeah,
check
don't
in
turn-
until
don't turn
after
it on.
I'm
Yeah.
there because it's a little.
But it was
people are
funny
little-
that Bernadette
do
was,
too,
yeah, it is actually smart. But Bernadette was like creeped
when
out.
you're leaving.
Because Bernadette's like creepy in her own sense.
Well, she's the ultimate
a stalker,
They
yeah.
can, I mean, so it makes sense that Howard kind of picked up on Bernie's tools.
I think it's
of
funny
stalking.
just how it's like reversed, like usually the fan is the one stalking, and then they're like, oh my God, we have a fan, and then they have to find out everything they can about this fan or this person.
Yeah,
and
well,
I think that was.
It's because they remember the picture. They're like, he's cool. He's
Right.
this. He's got a hot girlfriend. We have to find out more about him. And then they became the fans and the groupies.
Fan of the fan.
The fan of
And
the
then of
fan.
course they track him down, and we have to talk about this for a second because it was cringeworthy but amazing at the same time.
So when you first see him, he does look cool.
Right?
Like he's sitting there like, wow, they have a
Yeah.
cool fan.
Yeah.
And they're like waiting for their grand moment. And then, of course, his finger slowly goes right up the nose. And something they were not a fan of.
Well, I don't see who could be. That's pretty messed up.
Yeah.
And they're, and also too, they're sitting there and he's listening to headphones, and they're like, well, maybe he's listening to our song because they have one song.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they're, imagining all these amazing things, and then before you know it, he's
Eating
the boogers.
he's eating his boogers.
I have to say though, at first when they had a fan, I was like, I didn't think the fan actually existed. I thought it was just some like not cool person who, put, I saw you at the comic book store. And then when they did all the stalking and then they actually found him and he was cool, I was like, that was kind of interesting.
But then it turned out that
that he was a little,
if
Yeah.
you're eating your boogers, I mean, if you're over the age of like 3 and you're eating your boogers, there's a problem. You know what I mean?
God.
That's just, you should know by the time you're an adult, don't eat that stuff.
that's really
Ah.
not necessary.
No, absolutely. It's completely necessary to do the opposite.
Which it is kind of funny that
Don't.
that was enough for them to give up on
Right.
the fan, though. I didn't think it would be at first, but it was a funny moment because of how like common of a thing it was. It just completely grossed them out. I guess it just was like a metaphor for the real type of person the guy was, like
Yeah,
nerdy.
That's what I would
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
And he was like, they're like, darn it, that's our fan.
Right. I kind of thought it was a little thing to kind of for them because
Yeah.
they were so like
That's what
all
I mean,
about him
right?
to be like, oh God, no, now we can't even be seen by him.
Which, if I'm honest, it's a bit surprising for Raj because he's so desperate.
Yeah.
And so you'd think that he'd be like, okay, well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He's our fan, and he would want to go meet him anyway. And he recognized them too. He's like,
Yeah.
aren't you guys that? No, we're not.
Yeah.
Out the door. And I kind of, like for Howard, I could kind of see that.
Yeah.
Because he could be a little uppity.
But for Raj,
But
you'd
Raj,
think,
I'd be
yeah.
like, you'd think that maybe
the
he.
growth in Raj.
The growth. He's finally growing a backbone, maybe.
Oh, gosh.
So I guess we'll just say on to just wrap that little bundle up. Never meet your heroes because they might eat their boogers. That's a deal breaker. Guys, we're live. So again, like I said, tweet at us using the hashtag BigBangAS. You can subscribe to the channel right now so you never miss an episode. And of course, hit us on the live chat because maybe we'll be featuring you in about 5 minutes when we cut to
Yeah.
our YouTube live comments. And we're also going to talk about tweets regarding the show, so that's going to be fun. Let's get to the kiss her, you brilliant fool portion of our episode. I'm so excited to talk about this. So before we get to the date, obviously, Sheldon finally realizes what the song is going on in his head, and he realizes it sitting at the table with Leonard and Penny. I think we have a photo of that. There they are. And
it goes into the eye neurons and all that. Yeah,
I love that part too. I love that part also. And so, what did you guys think? Like, did anybody? First of all, did either of you know what song it was throughout the episode?
Idea. And it was honestly starting to get to me as well.
Right.
I was starting to get really aggravated. Like, what is this song? Like, I felt like Sheldon
because it was just literally like one chord. It was like one little
phrase.
Yeah. And I was like, I had no idea what that could possibly be.
And he was talking about different musicians when he came to the realization that the Beach Boys was the artist.
So it hits him, and then he stands up and basically realizes that. Well, it was actually a beautiful moment when he read the lyrics. Did you guys think that too? That it was just such a touching moment. Like, Sheldon was actually being human. He's so more human now than he was at the beginning of this series. And he realizes it's all about Amy, and then he says the lyrics to them, and that was a great moment. What did you guys think?
The cutest line ever. Did she soften your life? She's like the drier sheets of my heart.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really great moment because the realization that the song was about Amy, and then to hear the lyrics, because I don't know the song. I mean, I'm sure I've heard it at some point, but I didn't know the lyrics. And they were so apropos for how Amy has fit in his life, and the fact that song, which is so random to come into his head, and, he was like, this means something.
And I love that he always jumps to his, like, he knows why in 2 seconds something's happening. So it took him like not even a second to realize, I want her back.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as he realized it was his aha moment.
Yeah.
And I like how it's Sheldon. It's that easy for him to. He's very like just by the facts.
As soon as it's logical, it makes sense to him, and he makes that decision.
He doesn't overthink it. He's
so
just
Vulcan
done.
of him.
Yeah, it's true. It is, and it was even referenced in the episode when Amy said to Dave, she said, "You sound just like."
Oh yeah.
My ex-boyfriend, or you sound like if he was talking about Mr. Nimoy, or about Leonard Nimoy if you were my ex-boyfriend, or I don't remember the exact line, but you guys know what I'm talking about. And so of course, I want to jump to a little moment, which so we had this touching moment with Sheldon making this realization, and then he leaves. He's off to go get Amy back, and of course, in true Big Bang fashion, we have some comedy where Leonard and Penny are on the couch together. And he's like, well, am I the dryer sheet of your heart? And what did she say? She's like,
I'm the lint trap of my love.
The lint trap of my love. Basically, she's like, no, I'm stuck with you. It's like they're always trying to find romance, or not. They're always trying to find the romantic moments, and it always ends up in like in a funny place, which I love. I love that they do that. So
they have that, relationship.
So then, of course, Amy's on her date. Let's talk about the date with Dave. What do we think about this? I know we sort of touched on it earlier.
I know I mentioned there was like a desperate move. I understood it, though. But the date was going a lot better than the last time. I will say that. Right. It was at the time the date that we were seeing, definitely more about them, obviously, not Sheldon.
Until she brought him up, and then it kind of went back to...
It spiraled.
Yeah, and the fact that she made dinner for him, that was... I mean, she didn't understand that is like when you invite somebody over, that's kind of like, hey.
Nowadays, that's like Netflix and chill. That's that's basically, she's like, dinner is nookie time. And so she, with the tie clip.
Right, yeah, I mean, on the couch, and they have their wine, and it was just kind of like, oh, wow. Well.
I like when he kissed her, because he's like, no one's ever liked my tie clip. I just felt it. I felt that was the moment.
He couldn't help himself.
Couldn't help it.
He kind of reminds me of like a mix between Raj and Sheldon. You know what I mean? He's an intellectual, but he's completely...
sad and pathetic.
Pathetic, yeah, he really is. Like, he has no self-confidence. He's, he's more happy to meet... He's happier to meet Sheldon than he is to be like on
that is... when she goes, that's Sheldon, and he's like, oh, how's my hair?
Right.
Like that.
It's instead of, oh no, I could be losing this potential date of mine, he's more interested in how he looks when he's going to meet his hero, which, as we've learned, you never know that your hero could be eating their boogers. So, Dave, take note.
Taking your girlfriend, or taking your date.
Right. So obviously, we touched on that, and then, of course, I love the fact that in the same moment that he's on a date with this woman and her ex-boyfriend shows up and says, listen, you're my heartworm. And she's like, what are you talking about? And then the guy that she's on a date with comes and clarifies it for her.
That was so great. I think he means he loves you and he wants to get back together with you.
I'll just be over here. And he goes
He's
back.
like, oh, by the way, big fan of yours.
Right? And then of course the kiss lasts for about a decade.
That was such a big kiss, and I was
passionate.
not expecting it to be that long. And hey, she kissed 2 men in one night, by the way. Let me just say.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. She's gone
Amy's
from
the vixen.
She
We know
has
this now.
become 2 men, 1 night. Just saying. I'm surprised he didn't want to kiss her again, Dave, after she kissed Sheldon, because of how creepy he is with that, you know?
Right, yeah, because then it was like, I just kissed the lips that Sheldon Cooper kissed. Yeah. Well, he tried to stick around. He did. He tried to stick around until Amy kicked him out with her foot.
Well, it's just so funny how they ended the scene after like the last commercial break with them still kissing.
Yeah.
And that's what, like you said, it lasted forever.
Yeah.
And then he's like just trying to like leave, but he tries to set up like a date with Sheldon almost, and then Amy just kicks the door. But yeah, that was definitely a very hot and heavy kiss.
It was.
Yeah, they'd been broken up, and like you said, absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yes,
so
yes.
it was just like, bam!
Yeah, it
And
was
let's
a
just stay here
lot
for a
though. It was
while.
a big one.
It was the moment I've been waiting for since the end of last season. Was it
Yeah.
the moment that you guys have been waiting for too? I know that you guys have been waiting for it also. Let us know in the live comments. We will be so obviously you're my heartworm. That's how we're gonna end this off. They're back together. Shamey's back together. This is a good thing. And guys, next week they're gonna be even more back together than they've ever been.
Yes.
Can't wait for that episode. We're gonna take a quick little break. So definitely send us your comments, your questions, what you guys think is gonna happen next week, how the whole big the actual Big Bang is going to go down, because there's going to be a Big Bang next week.
Excited for that.
Let us know. We'll get back to some YouTube questions and some Twitter questions right after this.
Yeah, see it.
Cool. Let's check them out.
Just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live. In case you missed it live. How did you not figure it out?
We had a crazy vampire threesome, and you can't unsee that. That's burned into my brain now.
I was like, how did you get here? No. Look at me, I'm dancing.
You know why we saying yes. You know why we saying yes.
He is quite something.
And we're like, inseparable. She was shadier than Sunglass Hut with Ray-Bans on sale, ladies and gentlemen.
No. It wasn't. So come on.
You just went to a totally different direction on that.
When a billionaire goes broke, it means he's got like $4 million.
Hold the phone.
Hold on.
Bro.
I found her to be deliciously out of control.
Oh man, looking forward to this fight.
Ooh, they about to get together. Watch, it's about to go down.
Somebody better take some pictures of this.
I just slapped the crap out of Nick.
And he's just his big head.
You know, you can't count anything out.
Look at you.
It's been another awesome night at the Stream.tv,
always
guys.
awesome.
Thank you for joining us, you guys. We love you.
Welcome back, guys. Thanks for sticking with us. Quick shout outs to Joe Steiger, my man over there. I hope you're watching us. Thanks for tuning in. And Corey Weston, you rock. We're going to start with some YouTube, the live YouTube chats. Let's head over with Lexi. Let's see what we've got on YouTube.
Yes, so we have a big
us.
chat going on YouTube,
Yay.
actually. Thanks so much for tuning in, and like an international chat as well. A lot of countries chimed in. I apologize, I can't read some of your comments because I'm not that good with the whole language department. I can barely speak English, so I'm going to skip to the English ones. But I will shout out some names. Ellen Machado, thank you for joining. Ju Souza, also thank you for joining. Ty Versus, a bunch of people. Now let's get to some of the comments. So, hi Mira Domains. Yes, I am back. He mentioned my name. That's so sweet. So he said, wow, the episode started off slow but really ended on a great note. Dave was hilarious. And we should talk about that, how it did kind of start off slow. I think we
did say that right before we started.
Yeah. And then it ended on a great note.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
What do you guys think about
I mean, I like the pacing of the show. I didn't think it started off that slow. For me, I enjoyed the whole thing. I just thought it was a really great show. And yeah, it did end on a great note, though. And Dave, of course, was hilarious.
Oh,
I love having him on the show.
I love having the bus on the show. So no, here's the thing. I think that we were all waiting for the build-up. If you saw the trailer or the trailer or the preview for this episode, you know that they're gonna kiss at the end. You know they're getting back together, and so you're waiting for it the whole time. But honestly, the writers obviously did a great job, and I'm going to shout you out again because there were a lot of laugh out loud moments. I don't laugh out loud a lot, but I did. And so I still thought, yes, it started kind of slow, but there were some great moments, and then it ended amazingly. So yes, James, we agree with you.
Absolutely. And then a last comment by Lara Braz. She said, I thought it would be a song Amy showed him, but the way it turned out was much better. So she thought that it would have been like a song that Amy was playing, but it's better.
I was thinking that too, by the way. I thought that too, but I agree with her. It is better this way.
It's better that the lyrics were about her.
Yeah.
It's more meaningful, like a tender moment. A lot of people have actually talked about that, and the ending scene as well. Yeah, that was like the majority of the comments. One person, Rosa Rotuletti, said footprints on the moon are back. So that is exciting. But yeah, a lot of this is definitely about that last scene and how it was so tender and so emotional. And
very well written, very well played.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I
So
did too.
that's our YouTube
So thanks,
portion.
guys.
Yeah,
Yes,
thank you guys for watching. Thank you for sending us your comments and mostly comments, because we don't have questions. We know there's stuff going down next week.
I do have one
maybe
question
Sheldon.
here from Twitter.
Oh, it's here's Twitter.
Let's go to
Well,
Twitter.
kind of a question. So it's thanks again for joining us. Remember to use Big Bang AS if you have any questions, comments, whatever you want to ask us. So our first one is from Joe Steiger.
Joe.
Hi. He says, "What did Sheldon put in Leonard's drink? I need to know."
They never
said.
They never said.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think?
You know what? I'm gonna venture a guess because Sheldon is the type of guy who would play a prank where it's something that tastes like coffee but isn't coffee. So do you know what I mean? Like they have
but
those.
What could it be?
Like
I
don't
don't
think it would
know.
be as extreme as like poop.
Yeah,
No. He's
that's
not.
what I initially thought, but I was like, Sheldon wouldn't do that. Sheldon's
He's
not.
He's not evil.
Yeah.
He's irritating.
Knowing Sheldon, instead of like medium blend, it could have been like a bold blend.
Right.
And in his mind, that
That's a
was
good
like
point.
the biggest trick he could have played.
A different kind of coffee that Leonard doesn't normally drink.
Right.
That makes sense. That is something. Yeah, and he gets so excited he's drinking it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coffee. It's still coffee.
And it was after that really tender moment of like, he will do anything, you can trust him with your life and all this. He's drinking it. It was great.
It was wonderful. Yeah.
So,
That's a good question.
next we have
I like it.
at Oh My Linap, and she quotes, "You're my heartworm." That was actually incredibly sweet in an awkward Sheldon kind of way. Aw.
We agree. We agree.
Definitely. Because who says that?
You're a heartworm.
You're a heartworm.
But he did say not in a dying poodle death kind of way. So he did clarify it. But it's good he had his translator. Dave
was
there
there
to take care of business for him, which was helpful.
And speaking of Dave, we have at Kath Loves GH. I'm gonna guess that's what it is. She says, "I hope we get to see the Dave character more. He's hysterical." What do you guys think? Do you think they'll bring him back? I mean, he was Amy's other man.
They might have opened the door for it when he was trying to get together with Sheldon and stuff. So I mean, it's possible.
I could see him come back.
I would love to see him come back too. He's so much fun on the show, and he's gigantic, by the way.
really
Watching
big.
him stand next to Sheldon and Amy, I'm just like, oh my God, this guy is like 6'8" or something like that.
He's a big boy.
He's huge. But he is hilarious, and I love Steve Merchant, and I would love to see him back on the show. So yeah, it's always a possibility.
And I think he fits in really well with just the tone of the show.
Completely.
So hopefully we'll see him again.
Yeah.
Miss Jen at 325 said, "This has got to be the best Big Bang Theory ever." And I think we all agree. The ending was great. I think it was a great overall show. It kind of harkened back to the beginning of the of the Big Bang series. So I think I believe that's.
I think maybe to date, because I think next week is gonna
yeah.
blow everything out of the water.
No pun intended.
Yeah, no pun.
And just the last one we have is from Joe Steiger again, because we love him. He said, can they just air next week's episode now? 3 of my favorites coming. Shamey, Star Wars, and Bob Newhart.
I'm with you, Joe. I'm with you. We got to wait a week. But
1 week.
It's only a week. And you know what? They go by pretty quickly. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us. And be sure to tune in next week because there will be a bigger bang than the Big Bang next week. Yes, I'm just using this innuendo again for fun. But join us next week because Shamey are going to do the deed. Yeah. They're going to do the deed.
Wonder how long Sheldon will last.
I did. Oh, Jesus.
So
Lexi.
He probably has it chemically planned where he knows like how to make it long.
Lexi wants to know how long you think Sheldon will last.
Let us know.
And so you can let us know by tweeting at us using hashtag BigBangAS. And you can also hit us up on YouTube. We do check the videos and we will respond to your comments. Yes. So guys, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget so you don't miss the shows. You can set reminders so that you tune in at the right time even. So that's amazing. And we'll see you guys next week.
Goodbye.
Have a wonderful weekend.
Bye. Good to see you again.
Bye.
For more of the Big Bang After Show,
Click that button and subscribe to
TheStream.tv.